Welcome to cupán. Folks, my hair is alive, just standing on end. What can I do? What can I do? Look, I try to push it down and look, it's bouncing back up again. So I apologize for the fact my hair is but so is my brain. No, I've had great fun over the last 2 months. I have been invited to two youth events, where I was a guest speaker, but also where I was a panellist on a Q&A session. And so all the young people went and wrote down questions, and they went and put them to us, wise souls, if you think that that was the case. Anyway, when the second one was over, I went and asked the organizer where were the questions, and to discover that they'd been thrown in the bin. So I went and I rooted them out, and here are all the questions. I rooted them out of the bin, and today I am going to dig into one of those for my cupán. In fact, I'm digging in two questions that are very similar, and this ultimately is the question that's been asked. Do Christians believe that their religion is true and every other religion is false? Or is Christianity the same as every other religion, all on a pedestal? That second part doesn't sit with me, because I would be a person who go and say that I haven't put the religion of Christianity on a pedestal. It is a vibrant and living faith, and it is my life. It consumes me. It is who I am. I am a follower of Jesus Christ, and that's what the word Christian means. So to go and say that I've put it on a pedestal, no. To go and say that it is absolutely involved and intertwined in every fiber of my being, yes. If that distinction goes and makes any clarity there at all. But the first part of the question, do Christians believe that their religion is true and every other religion is false? Well, the first thing I would go and ask you is this: is Christianity a religion? That is the first question I would go and ask in response to that. And I would argue that the answer is no, because if you go and look at the Bible and the biblical definition of religion, which is, obviously we have to look at the Bible because that's where Christianity is based. It goes and tells us in James in chapter 1 and verse 27 that true religion is this: to keep oneself spotless from the world, to look after widows, and to look after the orphans. That's what true religion is. So if I'm a religious person, I'm looking after widows, I'm looking after orphans, and I'm keeping myself pure and undefiled from the world. Have I done that to any great success or measure? The answer is no. So here's a question I would put to you. Are you someone who's lived a perfect and pure life? Are you someone that has gone and looked after your grandmother, who's maybe had her in a granny flat living beside you? Are you someone who has gone and taken in an orphan and looked after orphans? Then if you haven't done those things, then you're not a religious person, according to the definition that's in James chapter 1 verse 27. So if that's the case, then Christianity, by its own definition, biblical definition of what religion is, means that it isn't actually a religion. Christianity is a relationship. And so I would go and argue that that's the first distinction I would make. Christianity is not a religion, it is a relationship. Yes, do we have religious practice? Absolutely. Yes, do we go and have liturgical practice? Absolutely. Yes, do we have doctrines, and have we formed certain types of worship or expressions of Christianity? Absolutely. Could you go and say that they're religious institutions? Absolutely. According to the dictionary definition of what religion is. Of course you can. But that still doesn't make Christianity a religion. So that brings me to a different point in regard to answering this question. Do Christians believe that their religion is true and every other religion is false? Well, now I've just gone and said that Christianity is not a religion, but now the next thing I want to go and say is, well, what is it then? I said it's a relationship, but it's a relationship based on what? It's a relationship based on the person of, as the name goes and says, Christ. And so we are followers of Christ. Now here is where the issue comes in. What do we do with the person of Jesus? That is the question. And that is the question I would go and say that every religion in the world has to go and wrestle with, because every religion recognizes the person of Jesus. Either as a prophet, as a teacher, as a wise sage, as a historical figure even in atheism. So everyone recognizes Jesus. Now C.S. Lewis ended up that he had his 3-point question in regard to Jesus as he was going and studying it. Lewis being formerly an atheist himself. And here was the thing, that when he looked at the teachings in the person of Jesus Christ, and the teachings of Jesus Christ more specifically, he had to go and draw to one conclusion. And the conclusion was that either Jesus Christ is a liar, Jesus Christ is a lunatic, or Jesus Christ is indeed Lord. Now, that to me is where the difference is. Now, let me give you an example of that in response to this question about making every other faith system or religion false. Jesus, one of the claims that Jesus goes and makes is this. In John chapter 14 and verses, we'll read from verses 1 to 6. Do not let your hearts be troubled. This is Jesus speaking. You believe in God, believe also in me. My Father's house has many rooms. If it were not so, I would have told you that I am going there to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back and take you to be with me, that you also may be where I am. You know the way to the place where I am going. And here is the context to this. Thomas said to him, Lord, we don't know where you are going, so how can we know the way? And Jesus answered, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Now, there is the crux of the matter. Jesus goes and claims that he is the way, the truth, the life. And that is a definitive statement in the Greek, the word the. The. And this is the whole point. When it's the, it means it's one. There is only one way. So there is only one way to be with the Father, and that's through Jesus. There is only one truth, that is Jesus. There is only one life, that is Jesus. Jesus says, I have come to give you life and to give it to you more abundantly. So here's the question in response to this question that is asked. Do you believe what Jesus goes and says? Or does he become a liar for you? Does he become a lunatic for you? Or in fact, does he become Lord for you? And that is where we have to go and boil it down to. If Jesus is who he says he is, that he is the way, the truth, the life, the definitive only way, then what that does is it goes and says that everything else is false. So, the question that I'm going to put you today in response to the question, do Christians believe that their religion is true and every religion is false? I would say no. I would say that we believe what Jesus said is true. And therefore, because we believe what Jesus said to be true, everything else is false. Is Christianity the same as the other religions, all on a pedestal? No. Christianity is a matter of the heart, not something that's on a pedestal. I hope this answers the question. If not, get back to me and let's see where this goes. I want to say thanks to all the young people who went and gave me these questions. But tell me this, for you today, when you think of the person of Jesus, is he a liar? Is he a lunatic? Or is he Lord? Have a good day.